Hello and welcome to episode 122 of the She Must Knit podcast. My name is Erin and thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. I hope you guys are doing really well. I know it's been another little bit of time between my last episode, but like I said, I just have not been able to do very much crafting. It's like little tiny bits, a little bit here and there. And so finally, I felt like I had enough to talk about. I feel like I have a pretty meaty little episode today. Not a lot of big things to share with you, but kind of little bits here and there. And then also just the stars kind of aligned today. So it's just around lunchtime. I just put Kira down for a nap. Hopefully she has a good nap today. But Dennis went out to meet a friend for lunch. So I have the house to myself, other than Kira, but she is sleeping. So yeah, I have some nice quiet time. I've got everything ready. I feel like I have stuff to talk about. So I was like, okay, let's do it. We are going to sit down and we are going to do an episode. So what do I have for you today? Do not let me forget to announce the winners. Oh my goodness, the last couple of months I've completely forgotten to announce the monthly winners for the coupon draw. I've written them down, I've done the draw, I have it at the very top of my list, but then somehow I record the episode and I totally forget. So I have a whole bunch of winners to announce today. Don't let me forget that. I have some finished objects, I have some works in progress. I've tried to make some progress on some more long-term projects. I have some other bits and pieces. I have some fabric I want to share with you just because it's kind of fun. And then I thought near the end we would do a bingo card update just to share with you how I'm doing, what I think I might still get finished for the end of the year, what I probably won't. I thought that might be fun to do too. And then maybe we'll do a little bit of a family chat, just a little update on how we're doing. Halloween is coming up, so maybe we can talk about that. We'll see. But yeah, so let's get started. So like I said, before I get into anything at all, I want to announce the winners that I keep forgetting to announce. So I have a winner for June, July, and then September. August, I didn't really record anything, so there wasn't any entries for August, but I have 3 winners to announce. So excuse me if I'm looking down my notes. 3 names is a lot for this little brain to remember at the moment. So the first winner, the June winner, was Heather Everston. So congratulations, Heather. The July winner was Mountain Pearl, so congratulations. And then finally, the September winner was Amanda B. So congratulations, Amanda. If I have called your name, you can contact me whatever way is easiest, through Instagram, through Ravelry, through the contact page on my website, and I will issue you a $20 coupon to use on my site for whatever you want, and they don't expire, so there's no rush for that. If you are a new viewer, every month I look at the comments made on any of my videos during that given month, and those count as an entry, as well as any items purchased in my shop count as an entry. And then usually every month or every episode, I will announce a winner, and it's just my way of thanking you for engaging in my channel and making this fun for me too, because I love chatting with you guys in the comments. So now that that is done, what shall we start with? I think we usually start with finished objects, and let's just start with my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks. So the last time I talked with you, I think I was working on my September socks, and I was able to finish those. I am still in the competition. I think I'll be able to finish the year off without too much problems. Whether I get anything else knit, that's another story, but I think I will be able to finish the Desert Vista Dyeworks challenge. So these were my September pair, and I knit these for myself. I had just finished knitting a whole bunch of gift socks, and this was the first pair coming back after that for myself, and the weather has cooled down enough to actually start wearing them. It's so nice to pull out a nice pair of hand knit socks from my drawer every day. So yeah, I've really enjoyed being able to do that. I don't think I've worn these yet. I think I've kind of kept them aside so that you can see, fresh knit, fresh off the needles knit socks, but you can bet that I will be wearing these very shortly after this. So I think this is the colorway Asphalt Jungle. Yeah, this is just my standard 2x1 rib. I do 10 stripes down the leg. I do my little increase heel with the reverse stocking net for the increases, and then I do about 60 rows for the foot before I start a standard toe. And lately I have been matching my socks. I really do like reversing the stripes, but yeah, it's just so much easier sometimes to just pull from the cake and get started on that next socks. So my September socks are done, and I think, you know what, I think we're going to go a little out of order. Instead of showing you my other finished objects and the other things that I've kind of are more finished projects, I'm going to show you my October Desert Vista dyework socks, and then we'll kind of go from there. So we might just go all willy-nilly all over the place. I don't know. I have a whole bunch of stuff all over my desk here, and I think whatever catches my eye might just be what we talk about next. So for my October pair, I was able to cast them on fairly early in the month. I think it was maybe October 2nd or so, and so I was able to finish my first sock. Not by the middle of the month, I think it was, you know, early 20s or so, but I was able to finish my first sock early enough that I don't think I'll be rushing to finish the second sock. We will see. I'll show you where I am in just a moment. But again, these are for me, so I did the same pattern as I did for the socks that I just showed you. And this is the colorway. I looked it up before I sat down. Give me a minute. Austin City Limits. So this is Austin City Limits, and I just thought this would be a really fun colorway for the Halloween month. I don't usually knit like Halloween I'm not really big into most holidays in terms of like, oh, I've got to have a whole bunch of Halloween socks to wear during October and stuff like that. But I do like to pick out a color that kind of reminds me of the season. And I just thought with the purples and kind of this limey yellow green and the black, I felt like this would be a fun color to work on during the month of October. And then also I've got my little matching nails. So these ones, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but they're little skulls, and they actually glow in the dark, and they glow pretty well. It's kind of weird because like I'll put Avery down, I'll put her in bed at night, and then so I'll be in her bright room, and then I'll turn the light off, and then when I go out into like the dark hallway, all I see walking is like my 10 little fingers glowing in the dark. It's quite funny, but I'm enjoying those. And then I did actually have a different design on earlier this month. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that I had little ghosty nails. So I've been having fun with the Halloween themed nails as well. But yeah, I got my first sock done. So I've got, you can see down here, these are my little markers that I use to count my rows once I get down to the foot, so that I know I've done 60 rows before I start the toe. And then here we are where I am on the second sock. Now I'm not totally where I want to be. Like ideally I'd like to be further, but we still have not quite a week. We have a bit less than a week. Halloween is on Sunday, so I have until Sunday to finish these, but I think I'll be okay. And I'll explain in a minute why the last couple of days I kind of put these aside for a little bit. That might have been a risky choice, but we'll see. But yeah, this is where I am on my second sock. So I've got the cuff done, and I'm working down the stripes for the leg. And I like to do, like I've said, I like to do 10 stripes. So I think I'm on stripe number 4. If I really sit and work on these, now that I'm done the other project that you'll see soon, I will be dedicating more time to this. So I think by the weekend for sure, I will be on the foot, and then I should be able to finish that on Sunday. Normally, Dennis and Avery go out trick-or-treating on Halloween, and I'm at home working on my October Desert Vista dyework socks, so I have some time to myself to do that. This year, I will be taking Kira out for the first little bit with them, and then coming back while they continue on. So I'm going to lose a little bit of that time on Sunday. So I'm hoping that I won't have much to go on Sunday by the time we have to do that. I'd love to be done them before dinner. We will see. I have to put some good knitting into them for the next couple of days in order for that to happen. But right now I'm not worried. You guys might be worried for me, and that's okay. I'm not worried just yet. So those are my October Desert Vista dyework socks that I'm working on. What shall we talk about next? Let's talk about my other pair of socks that I've worked on. So I've got my socks for Dennis. And I think the last time that I showed these to you, I was working down the leg, and while I was recording I realized I had made a mistake, and I think I had knit too far. I hadn't started the increases for the heel yet, and I thought I was approaching that point, but I had actually passed that point. So before I could continue on, I was going to have to rip back a couple of rows and then start the increases. Well, I've done that. I did that. I ripped back. I started the increases where they were supposed to be. I finished the increases. You can see I've done the little heel turn there. And I think I only have a little bit to go before I've done all the decreases for the heel, and then I will be working around on the foot. So I'm very close to getting to the foot on this sock, and then once I'm on the foot, I could see finishing this off in like a day or two, and then these will be done, which is awesome because I think those are another. You'll see later when we talk about my bingo card that those are a square on my bingo card. So I am getting there. I have no doubt that I will finish these by the end of the year, and I will probably give them to Dennis for either his birthday or for Christmas. We had our anniversary this past weekend on the 18th, so I could have given them to him then, but they weren't done yet. So either, like I said, for his birthday or for Christmas, but those will be done. So I did a little bit of work on those, and then the other project I picked up just briefly was my high trestle tee. I really want to get this thing done, but it is just not at a motivating place to work on it. I really tried one night to just, it's like, okay, in the evenings, I think I mentioned in the last episode, I was going to work on like my socks during the day and then try and work on this at night or vice versa. I don't remember. And I think I tried that for like 2 evenings, and then I just felt I either needed to put more time into my socks or I just got bored. I don't remember. But I only put a little smidgen of knitting into this project. So I think this is where I was the last time I shared it with you. And you can see I got maybe like 6 or 8 rows done. I don't know. But I'm on the body. The sleeves were done. They were like a self-finished design. I don't have to go back and pick up stitches or anything. All I have to do is the body. And I think I had mentioned before that I was going to try it on and see how far I had to go. I didn't do that, so I should still probably do that just to get an idea of how much knitting I have, because in my head it's like a lot of knitting, which kind of is, off-putting, but maybe it's not that much and I can use that as motivation to get back to it. But I only did a little tiny bit of work done on that project. Okay, next, this project that is in my lap. I was able to put some more work into my mitered square blanket. Every month, this project I usually put in whatever fingering weight yarn leftovers I have from any project, but this year it seems like all I've been working on in fingering weight is my Desert Vista dyework sock, so that's pretty much all I've been adding in. And I had a little pile of leftover skeins kind of adding up that I had to put in this blanket, and I wanted to get that done because whatever was left after putting my square into the blanket, I was going to roll up into minis for my Advent swap that's coming up, and I have to get those Advent packages ready for my friends. So I was like, I better get these squares in so that I can, divvy up the leftovers into my Advent boxes and not leave that to last minute, because it's a lot of work. So I was able to put in the squares that were kind of sitting and waiting. I got this one in here, so this is from my July pair of socks, and then I realized that I had reached the end of the row that I had kind of established, so I went back to the beginning here. This is my August pair of socks, my September pair of socks, and then I put in the brown from the pair that I'm working on for Dennis, just because I had the leftovers from the first sock, and so I thought I might as well just put it in while I've got the project going and I have the momentum going. I might as well just get this in now. And then also I thought it would be a nice break from all the stripies. It's nice to have, a solid square every now and then, so I just decided to put that one in, and then I just have 2 more squares to finish the row. So if I put in my October, this would be like my October and my November. That means my December will be back up here, and then I'll have 4 squares before finishing that row. So if I don't do any other fingering weight projects, I might just pull some other leftovers I have to finish that row, just so that the row is complete for the year, and then I'll have another little section done on this blanket. If you are new and you're not familiar with this project, this is a mitered square blanket, and usually what I do is I just put the leftovers of projects that I've actually made that are fingering weight in this blanket. Every year I add to it. At the end of the year I add a black border on that section, and I put a little year marker on it, and then it's been growing over the years. I think I started it in 2017, and my goal is to keep working on it every year, and when Avery eventually leaves the house, it will be a gift for her to take with her, and it will just have all the projects that she's seen Mummy working on for over the past, however many years it takes to finish this thing. And then after that, I'll probably have to start one for Kira, but there's such a gap between them that I feel like that shouldn't be a problem to finish before she needs hers too. So I was able to get a little bit of work done on that. What else do I have to show you? I think I have one more project that is kind of a little finished project, and then there's just some like crafty bits and pieces. So before I show you my next project, I'm having an iced coffee right now, and isn't this a cute little cup? Can you see the skeleton? It's kind of like a see-through skeleton there. I picked that up last year for Avery around Halloween time, and it's just the perfect size. I've been using it like all year round, but I thought it was especially appropriate for this current time of year. So the next project that I finished, I finally sat down this past weekend and started something that's been on my bingo card all year, looming, staring at me in the face, and I figured if I don't start this thing soon, it's not going to get done, and I really want to get it done. So how many of you remember this little kit that I bought? I think I bought this last year shortly after Christmas. I had it on my Christmas list. I think I asked Dennis for it for Christmas, and he just does not get the Friends thing. He just doesn't get it. Bless his little heart. He got me that Lego set. I think you can kind of see it up there. Yeah, I got the Friends Lego set from him the year before, but I had this on my Christmas list and he didn't pick it up, so I used some of my Christmas money from family to pick it up for myself after Christmas. And one of my goals this year was to make the set, and I figured, you know what, I know from my experience with amigurumis and things like that, that while there are usually lots of fiddly bits with them, once you get going on them, the projects really don't usually take that long. With still having about 2 months left of the year, I thought if I pick one character every weekend and work on it on the weekend, then maybe by the time the end of the year rolls around, I'll have the characters and the pieces that I want to get done. So I picked one for this past weekend and I got it done. So I finished Rachel. So just to give you an idea, here's the little book that came with it. It's actually quite a cute little pattern book. So this is what the project is supposed to look like, and here is my version. I think she turned out pretty well. I will tell you that getting the hair was a bit of a challenge, because I think, especially in terms of Rachel, the hair is really what makes her look like her, like especially during that first season when she had that kind of iconic haircut with the layers and stuff like that. And yarn doesn't really behave like hair, does it? So I tried my best. But yeah, so I finished this little character, and it took about the weekend. Like, not, obviously I didn't have, every hour of each day to work on it. I still have a lot of other households and family, children obligations to get to, but the little bits of time that I did have to sit down, I was able to get that done over the weekend. So I have decided that I'm going to try, I think on my bingo card I just said make the set, but there's a lot of these little pieces, so each character kind of has a thing that goes with them. And I don't know if I feel the need to make all of them, especially because I don't know why I thought this, because I mean the kit really isn't that big, but it doesn't come with everything for everything. It comes with, where is it? Right there. It says right there on the front that it comes with what you need to make the couch and the turkey. So that's the materials that they included. Everything else is not included. So luckily, because I have made lots of little toys and stuff in the past, I have I have a lot of colors. So I had kind of a skin tone color. I have your basics, you know, whites and blacks. I was able to rummage through my leftovers to get like the blue for her little outfit there. So I think what I'm going to do is pick a character every weekend and do those first, because that's really what I want. I want the characters, and then if I still have time, I might do some of these little bits. Like I might do the monkey Marcel, he's pretty cute. I don't feel the need to do a giant coffee cup. The duck and the chicken duck and stuff like that, maybe, because I do like the whole, you know, Joey and Chandler and the chicken, the duck. Maybe Phoebe's guitar, because that kind of goes along with her. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to make the turkey. Maybe I'll make it a Christmas ornament. Maybe this can be my Christmas ornament, my handmade Christmas ornament this year, except on my bingo card I said I was going to do a cross stitch. But that didn't have to be an ornament. I think I just said cross stitch. So maybe this can be my holiday ornament that I'll make for the tree. We'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to get done. As long as I get the characters done, I'm going to consider that goal done. And I think if I work on one every weekend, that is achievable. So the first one out of the group is that, oh, and I want to get the couch done. Yeah, so if I get the group of characters done and the couch done, I will consider the goal done. And then any of the little extra bits and pieces will just be a bonus. So I think, looking around, that's all I worked on. No, I just remembered, because I have this right here, I did work on my, so down there, my crochet granny blanket. I think I mentioned last time that I had not worked on it at all this year, and it is also on my card to finish, and I thought, okay, I really need to get working on that. So there was one day that I pulled it out, and I got a couple of rows done on it. And then I realized, because I hadn't worked on it all year, I forgot to do, similar to the mitered square blanket, after each year I've done a row of black to kind of separate the time periods that I've been working on that blanket as well. So I think I did about 2 rows one evening, and then I realized I forgot to do the black, so I have to do the black. But I had mentioned that my goal was to put whatever yarn was in the basket into the blanket, and then I would consider it done. And I was like, oh, I don't think there's that much in the basket, it shouldn't be too hard. This is how much is in the basket. This is a pretty full basket. I keep the blanket on top, so I hadn't really been looking in the basket, but this is a lot of yarn. Now, a lot of these are just tiny little extras that won't take a long time to kind of put into the blanket, but still there's a lot of yarn in there. So what I'm thinking of doing is, usually during December, after I do my Advent swap with my friends, I work on my current kind of Advent project. I don't think I'm going to do that this year. I think I'm going to keep working on this. I think the blanket, because this has been my Advent project in previous years, I think I'm going to work on finishing this blanket in December. And then I will put whatever minis I get through my Advent calendar, I will put those aside, and then once this is done, I can work on whatever project. I did start one last year, but I'm kind of second guessing, and I really like this crochet granny stripe blanket. It's just so easy. So I might end up going back to that pattern, but I think we're going to focus on finishing this one this year so that we can just get it done, and that's what I'm going to work on in December. So now I think that is all of the different things that I have been working on. So I just had one thing that I wanted to share with you. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait to share it with you when we talk about my bingo card, because it is relative to my bingo card. So let's talk about my bingo card. I think I'm going to scooch the view over a little bit so I have room to put a picture of my bingo card so you guys can follow along. And yeah, and then we will discuss how much left I have to do. Okay, so I've moved you over. Hopefully there's a nice big spot here that I can put my card. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking down at my phone to follow along and know what I'm talking about. So here is my bingo card as it currently is, with all the progress, all the goals that I've finished so far, what I'm working on, etc., etc. So let's start on the first row, and I'm going to just be talking about the ones that I think I'm going to do, the ones I don't think I'm going to do, things that I'm moving to next year. I was in the group on Ravelry, and someone mentioned She's like, is anybody else already planning their goals for next year? And I find that so funny because I find that, you know, it could be halfway through the year and I'm already kind of making mental notes of ideas for the next year. Like if there was a project that comes to mind and I was like, oh, I don't think I'll have time to finish that this year, I'd be like, I'll put it on my bingo card next year. And I was like, oh, this goal, I don't think I'm going to get to it. Well, that one's going to move to my card next year. Let me know if you're participating in bingo. Have you started planning next year's card? Because I know I've been making notes. So there's probably some things on here that are going to end up getting moved, but we'll see as we go. So the very first goal right on the corner there is the DVD challenge 1 to 3. Months 1 to 3, and that I finished. I strategically placed my Desert Vista Die Work squares in a diagonal because I had a feeling that that was one thing I knew I'd be able to finish, and then by the end of the year I would have a bingo. And so far that is holding true, so I've got that one. The next one is Sew Gift Bags for Avery, and I've got my little work in progress marker on there because I think I showed you a couple of episodes back that I had started sewing her bags. I have 2 bags sewn right now, and then I have a big piece cut out, and it's just been sitting there because it needs like a huge zipper. It needs a zipper that's bigger than what I usually carry for my bags, so I have to go out and buy a zipper. But I recently ironed it yesterday because I'm like, you know what, I think I'm going to make this one a drawstring, and then I don't have to worry about the zipper. So I've got it over there in my sew pile, and I'm going to work on that one pretty soon. So I will shortly have 3 bags made for her. And then I just placed another spoon flower order. There was fabric. What was I looking? I was looking on there for something else. I think I was getting one of the fabrics that I need for my mystery club. Oh, I'm gonna mention that right here, just because it's on my mind, and otherwise I'll forget. I recently put up listings in my shop for next year's. I'm continuing on the Unusual Creatures theme for my mystery club. Yeah, so I'm continuing the theme. I'm having a lot of fun with these unusual creatures. I'm really enjoying researching them. I'm really enjoying being inspired by the pictures that I find, creating the little clay markers after them. So I'm continuing the theme for next year, and I've got the listings up. Maybe I'll put the picture up here of the 5 creatures that I've selected along with their color inspiration pictures. Just in case that's something you're interested in trying, the listings are all up and ready. But there was one of the fabrics that I wanted to order because they were having a sale, and spoonflower doesn't often get discounted. So I wanted to order one of those, and then while I was on there, I decided to order another yard of fabric for Avery's gift bags, and I decided not to get the exact same print. I don't know if you remember the print. Just a minute, I'm going to grab one of the bags that I finished. So this is one of the bags that I finished for Avery's gift bags already. So I have this one, I have a slightly smaller one, and then I'm going to have a gigantuan one. And I decided to order another yard of fabric, but not in the same print. I don't know about you. Let me know if you're a sewer, if you have to do a bunch of projects with the same print, you get kind of sick of looking at it. That's why with my shop, I do such small batches of prints because I just don't want to work with the same fabric over and over and over again. So I found another Christmas themed cat print that had kind of similar colors that would coordinate well with this, but was different. So I've ordered that, and I'm going to try and make 3 more bags for her. So back to my bingo card. That was a whole tangent. My apologies. Sew gift bags for Avery. So like I said, I've got 2 of them done. I've got 1 sewn and ready to go that I'm going to do a drawstring bag with, and then I have another yard on the way to do 3 more. If I can finish those other 3 bags, I'm going to consider this goal done because of, yeah, the types of gifts that she usually gets for Christmas. She will need those 6 bags. So that's in progress. I still feel like I might get that done. Next square is finish the granny stripe blanket. We just talked about this. I'm probably going to try and work on it all of December to try and get that done because I'd really like to finish that. The next 2 squares are random project, and I don't have anything in mind for this, but I do find around the holiday season, you kind of end up doing last minute, you'll get, the inkling in your mind, oh, I should make this person this as a gift, or I should do this for a gift. So those might get filled with that. Also, another way I might use that is spinning. So I think I mentioned ages ago that I haven't spun at all this year. And one of my squares originally was to spin a skein of yarn. And then in June, when we had a chance to switch that out, I switched that one out because I just haven't been spinning. And part of the problem was that I had my wheel trapped behind this kind of cage thing here because Mr. T just will not leave my wheel alone. If I have a rubber drive band on there, he chews through it. I've already lost one. I haven't had a chance to reorder it. So I think it was last Christmas that he chewed through it. And I rigged something up with some nylon cord, which has been working fine, while he was trying to chew through that too. So I had it behind this cage, and that worked. He wasn't able to chew it, but it's not very accessible to me, so it's not something that I can easily be like, oh, I have 5-10 minutes to spin. I'm just going to grab my wheel because it's locked basically in a cage. So I moved it recently, and I want to see if this place works better. Does he try and get up and get there at it? And if not, it's a much easier place for me to access. So I'm warning you now, if you don't like motion, you're going to go for a little ride. But if you can see up on top of that drawer unit with the white drawer unit, my wheel is now up there. And I'm hoping that that will be a safe place for it. If he tries to get up there, then he is just, yes, he's a whole bunch of words if he tries to get up there and still chew through the band. But if that ends up being a safe place for it, that is also a much easier place for me to grab it, bring it down, spin for, 15 minutes while I, the last bit of Kira's nap or whatever at night. I might still get that skein of yarn done that is currently on the wheel, and then I might be able to use that for one of these random project spaces. So going down to the next row, we have sew gift bags for Kira. Now, this is what I was going to show you a minute ago, and then I decided to wait. I recently got another spoonflower order in that I ordered a little while ago, and I got her print in. So this is the print that I ordered for Kira. I just thought this was really cute. It's got some, Christmassy things, but it's got a little Yeti on it, and I know Yetis are not Christmas, but I don't know if you remember last year when I wasn't able to get these gift bags done then, and I bought some, like paper gift bags at the dollar store for some of their gifts. The ones that I was able to find for Kira had Christmas Yetis on it. So I thought that would just coordinate well, because if I had to use those for some gifts, they still kind of go with this theme. So Kira's theme can kind of be like, Santa's and, woodland creatures, whatever, and, Yetis. If it's got Yetis on it, then it's one of Kira's presents. So I think I'm only going to try and do 3 bags for hers. I'm just going to use whatever, or make whatever bag I can with this fabric, and then those will be her bags, because I have those gift bags still that we can still reuse. So if I make the bags that I can from that piece of fabric, I will consider that goal done. The next one is another DVD one done. The next one is make Kira's light box. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think that's going to have to be one that moves to next year. The next one, make an adult garment. That's my trestle tee. If I can keep working on that, I might still finish it. Next goal, the next bunch of goals I've actually finished. So we have 2 old whips, did that. 4 pairs of gift socks, did that. 2 more pairs of gift socks, did that. And then we have the center square, which is kind of a gimme square. We have another random project again that might end up being, some sort of Christmas gift. Use 5 patterns acquired before 2021. Right now, it doesn't look like I'm going to finish that, but we will see. If I have to do any gift knitting, I will try and pick a pattern that I already have in my library. Going down to the next row, we have make a cross stitch project. I like doing that. I really enjoyed last year doing that in the Christmas season, so we're going to try that again. Make Dennis a pair of socks, almost done that. Make a toy for Kira. If you remember, I made the pink fawn, so I finished that. We have another DVD challenge, did that. Make a pair of patterned socks. This is one that I still really want to do, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really want to make another pair of stripes and stranded socks. I have this skein, this striping skein from a Muppets Club, and the theme was animals, so it's got this bright orange and black and pink. I really like it. I think it'll be a really cool yarn to use for this pattern, but I don't see it happening by the end of this year, so that might get moved to next year. Then down the next row we have make Avery's light box. I did that. Make French crocheted set. We just talked about that. I might be able to finish that. Make something for Avery. I don't know if she's decided what she wants. Maybe if I can whip something up for Christmas, I can finish that box. 2 other whips from before 2021. I have a pair of socks upstairs where I'm on the second pair, or on the second sock, and then I have my granny stripe blanket, which would count for that. If I can do those 2, I might still be able to finish that. And then we have DVD challenge months 10 to 12, and I'm pretty sure I'll finish that. So all things considered, I think I've done a pretty good chunk of my bingo card. There's still a lot to go. But you know what? Like, I didn't realize, like, I knew in my head that I haven't knit as much this year as, you know, even last year. And last year I didn't knit as much as previous years, but it didn't really hit home how much less until I was in my Ravelry, on my Ravelry page. And if you, let me know down below if you do the challenge every year. There's a little tab where you can click on that says challenge. And then you put in your goal at the beginning of the year, how many projects you want to make for the year. And then every time you make a project, it kind of gives you the percentage of how much of that you've made. And in the past, I've done like 50 projects has been my goal, right? And I usually can make that. So just keep that in mind. Oh my goodness. We get a lot of motorcycles and they always are in a rush to get places. But anyway, usually it is not a problem for me to meet 50 projects in a year. Last year when I had Kira, I dropped that goal to 35 projects, and I think I was just short. I think I made like 32 projects. This year, my goal was 35 projects again, and I looked at where I was, and I've made 11 projects. So we are almost at the end of the year, and I have made 11 projects over the course of the year. And that's when it really, really hit me like, wow, like I really just have not been as productive this year. And I think, you know, when you look at last year, yes, I had Kira, but she was a newborn for a lot of that. She slept a lot. She stayed in one place. I could put, even when she started, you know, being more active, I could kind of put her in a spot and still knit. Now she is a toddler, and you have to keep your eye on this one. Oh my goodness. Avery, when she was little, was not nearly as like, you didn't have to like really watch her, right? I never had to baby proof things. I never had to lock cupboards. I never had to worry about her climbing things. Kira is all over the place. If she can climb it, she will figure out a way to climb it. If it can open, she's going to open it and see what's inside and empty everything out. So I feel like I am constantly either in the room with her, watching her, following her, picking stuff up after her. Like, it's just, it never ends. So yeah, I haven't had as much time to knit. We have to go places. She's a very busy baby. So yeah, it just, like I said, it really hit when I saw that I had only finished 11 projects this year, when usually 50 is like no problem. I think for next year, I might even have to drop my number, you know, quite a bit, maybe make it 20, maybe 20 projects. I don't know. But that's pretty much why I haven't been finishing as many things, why I feel like the last couple of episodes haven't been as frequent, because I just don't have the things to share with you. But, you know, that will change over time. It's an ever-evolving thing, right? So yeah, I think that's basically it for all the knitting and the bingo update. In terms of a little life update, not much has been happening. I think last time I mentioned that we were hoping to go to Dennis's family for Thanksgiving, and we did end up doing that. It wasn't really like a formal Thanksgiving dinner. His sister had that the day before, but it was going to be in the evening. They live 2 hours away, so it was going to be in the evening, and it was going to be a bit of a trek to get down there, work around Kira's naps, figure out how to get home. Anyway, so we ended up going the next day to his mom's for lunch, and then who his sisters, if they could make it, they made it. So we had a nice little visit. We had a nice little lunch. There's a park right near his mom's house, so we were able to go there. And yeah, overall, it was very pleasant. And I didn't end up bringing his mom's socks with me, because I was like, you know what? I think we'll still be able to see them for Christmas. And if for some reason we can't, I will probably be mailing her some other things that, you know, the girls will make for her, so I can just make a nice little Christmas package and do that. So Thanksgiving was very nice, and then yeah, Halloween is coming up. Halloween is this coming weekend, and we have planned, we're going to be participating this year. I think things are going to be a lot more back to normal this year. I think a lot more people are planning on giving out candy. So Avery's got her costume. I've got one of Avery's old costumes for Kira. And like I said at the beginning, I'm planning on just bringing her out. So pushing her in her stroller in her costume, and she can go up to a couple of houses with Avery. And then when she's kind of had enough, I will just walk back home and Avery and Dennis can continue on. So for the costumes, obviously I don't have any pictures for you yet. Hopefully I'll be able to share that during the next episode. But we were trying to theme it with the costumes that I already had. So we have, when Avery was about this size, I think she was older, but she was also smaller than Kira. When she was about this size, she had a monkey costume. So that's what Kira will be wearing. She will be a little monkey. And Avery has decided to be a banana to go along with that. And a banana costume is something that you can buy at the store. So last week I went off and I bought a banana costume, and it's the easiest costume ever. It just pops right over her head. It's perfect. She can layer all kinds of things under it. And yeah, that's what they are planning on going as. If your kids are going to be participating, please let me know down below what costumes they have picked out. It's always fun to know what everybody will be going as. And then, like I said, for the next episode, hopefully I will have a little picture for you. If you follow me on Instagram, there's probably going to be a picture that I post on Halloween with them in their costumes, but hopefully I can share next time. So I think that is all that has been going on. I hope everything is going well where you are. I hope you've been able to work on all the projects that you want to work on. Please do some knitting and crafting, for me in my place, because I am not able to do as much as I normally would. But until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Have a happy Halloween!